Coming to you from the Deep South, this is the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast. High-impact leadership is not reserved for leaders, and it has nothing to do with your position, title, or rank. However, it does have everything to do with your character. It's time to climb to the next level and beyond, personally and professionally. Now, let's start making it happen with your host, Max Story.
Hey guys, thanks again for listening to the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast. Today's pretty cool because today is episode 100. So since late July when I started doing my podcast, I've made it up to 100 episodes. And so thank you for listening. And I thought it'd be great today, as I'm thanking you for listening, to actually talk about gratitude. And gratitude, when we talk about leadership as influence, if we want to grow our leadership or grow our influence, because let me back up a second, because when we grow in our influence, we're growing our option. When we increase our influence, we increase our options. So gratitude is just one of those overlooked traits, especially sometimes in the blue collar workforce, in the blue collar world, because we got to be all hard and tough and all that kind of stuff. But I'm telling you, and you already know it, gratitude goes a long way. So what I'm going to do, if you think about it, if someone expresses gratitude, does their increase or does their influence with you increase or decrease? It's common sense, right? Someone expressing gratitude towards you and for you is going to have more influence with you. But it ain't always common sense to understand that I need to be expressing gratitude toward others. I like it when they do it to me, but I need to do it toward others and be intentional about it, because that's going to increase my influence. So you got to look in the mirror and out the window all at the same time. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to talk to you about gratitude and, raise your level of awareness about that. And I'm going to share some quotes with you from my quote file. Those of you who've been listening to me long enough know that I read every day, and I'm capturing and filing quotes. When I say file them, I mean I'm putting them into an app called Evernote. It's on my phone. It's on my computer, so it's always up to date. They're always synced, and I've got thousands and thousands of quotes. And so today I'm just going to type in the word gratitude and hit search, and it'll, all I got to do is just scroll through them, and it'll pop them up for me. And I'm going to just read and discuss some quotes on gratitude to just raise your level of awareness. And so, some principles of moral authority are fairness, respect, honesty, humility, courage, and gratitude. So as you embrace and develop moral authority, your influence always increases. And what we're talking about, moral authority, is leading based on who you are and why you do what you do. It's not about formal authority. Formal authority is about your rank, your title, your position, all that sort of stuff. And it comes with the rights to lead. And the influence that's associated with formal authority, I call it artificial influence. It's not real. It comes with the position, the title, the rank. Moral authority, when you deal with people through fairness, respect, honesty, humility, courage, gratitude, that sort of stuff, you gain authentic influence. And that's what we're talking about with gratitude. Gratitude takes you far beyond artificial influence and allows you to leverage authentic influence. So that's what we're talking about. Gratitude motivates and inspires others to repeat the behavior we appreciated, the behavior that we were grateful for. That works with your children, with your teammates, with your boss, with people who report to you. It's a principle. Expressing gratitude inspires and motivates others to repeat the behavior that we appreciated. So why wouldn't we express gratitude? You would if you're a high impact leader, because you understand the impact that it has on other people and your influence. So gratitude and respect, in other words, will help you sell yourself. So showing gratitude is actually a competitive advantage. And I write about that in my book. A lot of people don't realize I have a book for sales professionals. And it's a book on really selling with character. It's not about the traditional, ways to sell products and services. It's how to sell yourself. I've never been a professional salesman, but I know how to sell myself, and I know how to help other people sell themselves. And that book is written. The title of it is "Who's Buying You?" Until you sell yourself, you won't sell much. It's on audio, ebook, paperback. But part of that is the quote I just shared with you comes from that book. Gratitude and respect will help you sell yourself. Showing gratitude is a competitive advantage. But that same principle applies anywhere. Let's say you're the leader. You have two people report to you. You can't tell the difference in them. One of them's going to be promoted. You can't tell the difference. They're both rock stars with one exception. One always expresses gratitude. The other one never does. Who gets promoted? Kind of obvious, right? The one who's expressing gratitude. Everything else is equal. One expresses gratitude, one doesn't. We're going to promote the one expressing gratitude. Now look at it from the other side. Now there's a downturn in the economy. I got to let one of those rock stars go. I can't tell the difference. Except one of them is always expressing gratitude, and one of them never does. Who am I going to let go? Again, common sense. I'm going to let the one who doesn't express gratitude go if everything else is equal. And see, that's common sense to understand it the way I just asked it. But is it common sense for you to literally go out and show gratitude to your team, to your coworkers, to your boss, to your family, to your spouse, to your children? It's going to leverage your influence. It's going to take you to the next level. Another quote, gratitude quote from my book, Who's Buying You? Showing gratitude is often an overlooked character trait. It takes a higher level of character to demonstrate respect and to show gratitude. A higher level of character. That's another reason expressing gratitude is a big deal, because when whether you're expressing gratitude or whether you're not, either way, you're revealing your character. I had dinner with someone recently, and I purchased their dinner and their guest dinner. And not one time during the whole meal or after the meal did that person, when the waitress come around and says, "Is this one check or two?" And I always say one. I got it. And that's exactly what I did then. And the person didn't even say thank you, didn't express any gratitude. Not then, not later. I can promise you, I think a lot less of that person's character than I did before I had dinner with them. It's just a simple way of being. So, are you enhancing your business? In other words, your sales, your influence, by demonstrating respect while leveraging gratitude? If not, you're missing the opportunity to turn your customer base into a positive word of mouth marketing base. And see, that quote comes from my book, Who's Buying You? And it's written with an emphasis on people who are sales professionals. But it still applies to us. Let's think about it. Are you enhancing your business by demonstrating respect while leveraging gratitude? If you listen to the 30-part series on my book, Blue Collar Leadership, one of the things in there I talk about is you're in business for yourself. You're working for yourself. You may work somewhere else, but you're working for yourself. And gratitude enhances your business, which is you. And the other part of that quote, if you're not enhancing your business by demonstrating respect while leveraging gratitude, then you're missing the opportunity to turn your customer base into a positive word of mouth marketing base. And how does that apply to you? Your customer base and word of mouth marketing base. What does that mean for you? That means everybody you interact with is your customer base or potential customer base. And what they're saying about you That's your word of mouth marketing you're getting for your business, again, which is you. Are they saying positive things or negative things? Promise you, if you express more gratitude, they're going to say more positive things. If you express less gratitude, they're going to say more negative things. This stuff's common sense, but it ain't always common practice. So again, today I'm talking about gratitude because I'm grateful for you listening to this podcast. Probably haven't looked lately, but it's probably over 20,000 plays so far. That's a lot of people listening, and so I am thankful for you. I want to make a positive impact on the world, and especially in the blue collar world and in the blue collar workforce. So thank you, and tell people about this podcast. It doesn't cost you anything to tell someone. You never know the impact you could have on their life just by getting them to listen and go to the next level. And maybe my podcast could be a bridge to get them to listen to other people's podcasts. Anyway, gratitude allows you to demonstrate respect and to show appreciation. That's what you're doing when you express gratitude. You're demonstrating respect and showing appreciation. A friend of mine, he's got a great book. It's called Gratitude Marketing, and it's an awesome book. The principles apply across all industries. So if it's something you're interested in, I highly recommend that book. His name is Michael F. Sciortino Sr. I'll spell his last name, and hopefully I'm saying it right, but it's Sciortino. Sciortino. And I think it's Sciortino. So Mike, I remember when I read that book, I was like, man, that book is awesome. So gratitude, he says, is one thing that is often unexpected, but never unwelcome. Gratitude is the one thing that is often unexpected, but never unwelcome. See, someone who's not expecting gratitude, when they get it, they're happy to get it. They're not going to turn you away. John F. Kennedy had this to say. He said, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. Pretty powerful. What he's saying is expressing gratitude is not the main thing, but it's living with gratitude where people understand your appreciation and that you're grateful by how you interact with them. Pope Francis had this to say. He said, gratitude is a flower that blooms in noble souls. Another way of saying it is gratitude is a flower that blooms within people of high character. He's saying noble souls. That's what it means. High character people express gratitude. Another quote from Michael Sciortino. He says, the act of giving creates a positive experience for you and establishes a powerful level of emotional attachment between you and your client. And again, you're in business for yourself. You work for yourself. Everyone you interact with is your client. So when you're expressing gratitude, creating that positive experience, you're creating an emotional attachment. In other words, you're building a relationship. You're making the relationship stronger. So Randy Pausch had this to say. He says, showing gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful things humans can do for each other. That assumes we don't let pride and ego get in the way, or we don't just think we deserve it, so we don't express gratitude. There's a lot of people who live together. They go home every night, had a hard day at work, and they walk in with their spouse or their significant other, and they've gotten used to them, and they don't express gratitude. You stop expressing gratitude for the things your spouse or significant other's doing, and it won't be long, someone else will be offering them some gratitude. So think about that too today or tonight when you're listening. Next time you interact with your significant other, be intentional about being grateful. It's a big deal. So Mike Sciortino says, remember, abundance Abundance multiplies when you show regular and sincere appreciation. And what he means by that, he's talking about abundance multiplying. It means the more grateful you are, the more abundant and giving other people will be because they know you're grateful. You think about it. People who show you a lot of gratitude, you don't mind helping them out. You actually want to help them out, right? And Mike also says traditional marketing speaks at people. Gratitude marketing engages and connects with people. That's why it's so powerful. That's why gratitude's so powerful, because it allows you to connect and take the relationship to another level. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, he said this: in ordinary life, we hardly realize that we receive a great deal more than we give, and that it is only with gratitude that life becomes rich. Yeah, we get a lot more than we give. We seem to only notice when we're giving. That's a problem. We need to be noticed when we're getting, and then be intentional about showing gratitude. It's a big deal relative to your influence. Nick Vujicic, Rhea and I went through some training with Nick. You may not recognize the name. The last name is spelled Vujicic, and his first name's Nick Vujicic. If you don't know him, you might have seen him or heard of him. He's a pretty popular guy all around the world, and it's pretty cool. Rhea and I had the privilege to do some training and development with him, meaning he was on the stage and we were in the chair, and we paid a lot of money to be in that room. But Nick's been all over the internet. He's pretty popular. He's an outstanding, phenomenal motivational speaker, but he also was born with no arms and legs. But he does everything. You might have seen him on a surfboard in the ocean with no arms and legs. That's Nick, if you've seen him. If not, rewind, spell his name out, and go check him out, and look him up on YouTube. He's an amazing guy. But Nick had this to say. He said, often people ask how I manage to be happy despite having no arms and no legs. The quick answer is that I have a choice. I can be angry about not having limbs, or I can be thankful that I have a purpose. I chose gratitude, he says. That's powerful. The man's got no arms and no legs, and he's thankful for his purpose. And if you know him, he's a religious person. He's a Christian. When he says he's thankful for God for giving him his purpose. And he expresses gratitude for being able to live out that purpose. William Arthur Ward said this: gratitude, and this is a good one right here. This is a good quote from William Arthur Ward. He says, gratitude can transform common days into thanksgivings, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessings. So basically what he's saying there is have an attitude of gratitude. Change your entire day. And if you can't do that, probably got a lot of self-development work to do. Just some leadership truth for you right there. So we pay people for the work they do, but we pat people on the back because we appreciate the work they do. And those are my words. You don't know how many times I've heard someone say, why do I need to thank the people? That's why we pay them for, to do the work. That's about the lowest level of leadership you're gonna when you hear that come out of somebody's mouth, you can probably tell right now I don't even like talking about it. But I hear that all the time. I've heard that my entire life from low impact leaders, really managers of people. I've seen a leader walk in a room and hand out 20 checks to 20 team members who was in a training that I was doing, and hand them out without one single thank you, zero gratitude. And I've called them out later in private. I'll say, when you hand those checks out, why don't you ever say thank you or I appreciate the job you're doing? That's why I'm giving them the check. We pay them to do the work they do. Pitiful. That's what that is. That's a pitiful human being. So we pay people for the work they do, but we pat them on the back because we appreciate the work they do. That's two different things. I have to move on. I got excited on that one. So this is a great one here from Gladys Stern. And it's exactly what I was just talking about. But she says, silent gratitude isn't much good to anyone. Silent gratitude isn't much good to anyone. The reason why is nobody knows you're grateful unless you're behaving it out. But when she's saying silent gratitude, it means you just have it on the inside. You're not expressing it through your actions or your words. You're being silent. Doesn't do anybody any good, especially you. So I want to share a couple of quotes. Rhea, my wife, she's written a couple of books. One of them's Fearfully and Wonderfully Made, A Grateful Heart. It's 30 Days of Inspiration for Women. And, if you're a lady or you have a lady in your life, you might want to go to Rhea, RIA Story, STORY.com and look in the store. It's actually in the Blue Collar Leadership store as well. But she's got a 30-day inspirational book for women. And pretty cool. You may want to check that out for yourself or get it as a gift. But she's also got another book called Leadership Gems for Women, 30 Characteristics of Very Successful Women. And it's 30 chapters, 3 pages each. Chapter 29 is Be Grateful. And she's got a cool quote in there from Ralph Marston. And Ralph says, make it a habit to tell people thank you, to express your appreciation sincerely and without the expectation of anything in return. Truly appreciate those around you, and you'll soon find many others around you. That's a pretty big deal. Rhea says, gratitude makes people feel appreciated, valued, and respected. She says, remember, every encounter you have with someone is an opportunity to build trust and increase influence, or to create distrust and decrease influence. Relationships with others are based on an emotional bank account. Every encounter either adds an emotional deposit into the account, which builds trust, or takes an emotional withdrawal out of the account, creating distrust. And again, this is from Rhea's book, Leadership Gems for Women. She also has a version for men, very similar. A lot of the words, the content is the same, but there's a little bit of difference between the books. So if you're a man, you probably want to get Leadership Gems. If you're a woman or getting it for a woman, you probably want to get Leadership Gems for Women. So I'll leave you on this thought. Another quote out of Rhea's book in the chapter on being grateful, from Adrian Gostick and Chester Elton. And they had a book called A Carrot a Day, a daily dose of recognition for your employees. And she took this quote from that book, and the quote is this: great managers, leaders, praise effort, reward results. A daily dose of appreciation creates a stronger workplace where people come, stay, and are committed to your goals. So I'm going to leave you with that today, but I'm grateful for you. I thank you for listening to these episodes. This one was a little bit longer, and actually I left out a lot of my quotes on gratitude for the sake of shortening this thing up. But I hope you got the feel for it. So go out today, tomorrow, each day, be intentional about expressing gratitude. Talk to you next time.
Make it happen or someone else will. It might as well be you. Are you serious about taking your career and your life to the next level and beyond? Check out Mac Story's Blue Collar Leadership series books and others, now available on audio, along with paperback and ebooks at Amazon, iTunes, and Audible. Please visit bluecollarleadership.com to learn about Mac's books, programs, special offers, certifications, and more. Thank you for listening to the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast.